krockfootball.com.au. The coaches catch-up continues. We're out at lovely Modewarre, out at Mount Moriac, and lucky enough to be joined by the man who is guiding the fortunes of the Warriors in 2014. I do talk of Haami Williams. Haami, thanks for joining us firstly. Congratulations on the appointment. Nice to be back in the coaching routine again.
Yeah, look, Kingy, it's been a few years now. I haven't been out of it. You know, I've been working with the juniors out here for a while, but you know, we've done a fair bit of work with these young kids out here, and we've created a bit of a culture, and they understand what it takes to be successful. And those young sides that I've coached the last couple of years have won premierships. And you know, talking to Fitzy behind the scenes, and you know, we're sort of at the point where we think that the senior club needs to start leading.
It's been a while since the last senior premiership won by this club. You've got to go back 20 years. I think it was a GDFL Division 2 flag they won back in the early 90s. A prelim final a couple of years ago under Matty Sproul, but taking that extra step is what the club wants to do.
Yeah, that's certainly the case. You know, Fitzy has made no sort of secret of the fact that they selected me because you know, I've been lucky enough to play in premierships but also coach them. And now, having been around for 4 years around the club, he knows how I go about it with the young fellas as well. So, you know, it's, at the moment, you know, it's going pretty well. Messages starting to sink in.
Give us an update on your list. Will we see much change from what we saw running around in 2013?
Yeah, look, there's a few guys who have gone. Miso won't be here. He's working. He's living and working in Melbourne. You know, Sam Hawking's gone back to St Albans. I'm not really, you know, I think he was going to play there. I'm not really sure what the scenario is at the moment. We've got a couple of boys in from Thompson, Jesse Douglas and Jake Clark, who are both, you know, 6'2", 6'3", running type players, both pretty skillful. We've picked up a ruckman, Tom Perry, who, you know, has a bit of a history of not being the fittest bloke, but you know, he certainly shows that he has the capabilities to play and have the skills. So, you know, it's just a matter of getting them to buy into the team effort and how much work it's going to take, really.
A lot of people will ask what Josh Finch is up to. He won another Ash medal last year. Does he look to a higher level, or what are his plans?
Well, look, Finch he started training at Werribee and trained there for a couple of weeks and then came down to Geelong. He's certainly you know, he's pushing himself to give him the best shot to have a go at Geelong VFL. I know he's definitely weighing up his options about going to South Barn. There's no point hiding that. You know, it's something that he thinks may stop any regrets that may come over him later in life. But you know, he's a Modewarre boy through and through, and you know, I think with the changes that we're making and a bit of a change in attitude after our camp on the weekend, you know, Josh came down and he saw the new direction that we're going to take and saw that it was going to be fairly player push. So I think I'd like to think that the way he's thinking has been altered a little bit, but that doesn't mean that I don't want him to do what he thinks is best for him.
Do you leave him be for a while and leave it till as late as possible, or do you put pressure on him early to make a decision? Do you need to know now, or you are happy to wait till late March?
Look, with Josh, you know, we haven't put any pressure on him at all. I mean, he knows we want him to play here. That's obvious, and we're not trying to recruit 50 players to you know, totally change the club. We want to change the mindset within the club first, you know, and we're lucky enough to have a few of the older blokes who've always sort of maybe not quite led in the way that they could have, you know, changed their thought processes a little bit. So, you know, I think that I don't know, it's a really hard one, but I think the guys we've got here, you know, they're keen to learn and they're learning already, and you know, the weekend we had the camp, you know, there was a fairly significant shift in how the guys were sort of approaching things. So let's hope we've got some clear structures that we want to work towards, and hopefully the guys learn them quickly enough, and we can go really well this year with the intention that it's at some point, whenever it may be, that we're going to win the flag.
Anglesey to open things up, and then the AFL Barwon powers that be have done you no favours. 4 of the top 5 in the following 4 weeks. It's a tough opening stretch to the season.
Look, as far as I'm concerned, for us it's all about learning how to train well and train well together and play well together. So, I think Anglesea's a good opening. I'm not assuming that anyone's going to be, not any good at this stage. When it comes around, we want to be, have as many cylinders firing as we can. Obviously, we know Drysdale are going to be pretty strong. They played in the grand final last year. We got them in round 2, and I'm sure they would have improved with Fitzy out there. So, it's probably a really good benchmark for us. The boys are really everything that we've discussed. The boys are really disappointed in the year that we've just had, and I think they're really intent on turning that around. And I think maybe having Anglesea in the first round, which probably will be fairly competitive, come up against Drysdale in the second round might be a really good opportunity for us to find out where we're really at.
And yourself, looking in fantastic nick as always. I know you've into the age where 4 is the first number, but is there part of you that still wishes you, or still thinks that you might have a run around?
Look, it's always really hard. Work's a number one priority in my family. At the moment, I'm sort of taking little steps every day to sort of improve my fitness, and if I get to the point where I'm capable of performing at a level that's acceptable, then if I can fill a spot or put myself in a place where I can help the team or the twos or whatever it is, I'll do it. So at this stage, I'll just worry about how the other guys are training, and then I'll think about how I'm going as I take a step at a time.
Fantastic. You hold a unique piece of Geelong football history, the only man to play in premierships with a GFL, a BFL and a GDFL club. So all 3 clubs you've been to have won flags. You'd love to make it a 4th, wouldn't you?
There's no doubt I'd love to make it a 4th. I'd like to think that's that's something, winning a flag is something that you have to be really committed to doing. And I think my whole life I love footy, and I love learning about footy, and I love playing the game. So, playing in it, you can be committed, but when you're coaching it, it's really about walking tall and doing the things that need to be done and showing the boys how committed you are and making them realise that they are a part of a group of players that are trying to achieve something, and it's not always just about them, but just doing what they need to do to help us achieve it.
I don't know what Amo's intentions are this year, but do you think somebody with a sense of theatre will schedule their 10th anniversary of the 04 flag when it's their home game against you guys?
Well, the reality is that I think I actually spoke to the club about doing that, because I thought it would probably be a good possibility for getting everyone there. But I think the intentions have made it. I think they might have made it on a bye weekend, which may work out for the better anyway.
Fantastic. Haami, it's always good to talk to you. Forthright and honest as always. Good luck this year. Welcome back to the coaching ranks. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Kingy. Good to see you, mate.